Hello, everybody. This is Gary Shipman.
And this is Rhoda.
We are here again.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back. Second voiceover.
Second in a row.
In a row.
We're on a roll.
We
So
are.
welcome, everybody, to this stream. We thought we would do this picture, which is a picture of Jesus.
Yes.
The reference was from the movie The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Yeah.
That was where...
Well, because it was just Easter.
Right.
And Palm Sunday and Easter and all of that, Holy Week and everything, so...
Well, isn't it still Passover? Isn't it coming?
I think so.
Is it upon us?
It might be upon us.
Wow. Time flies. Anyways.
So we wanted to add that.
Welcome to you all. Thank you for watching the video. And if you guys have any questions about anything or just want to make a comment, it really does help the channel if you put that comment in the comment section.
Sure.
And then we will have a whole video because of the glut
of
questions that will come. We'll do a whole video of just answering questions.
That is true.
Okay, probably not, but we'll answer the questions.
Yes. If you have any.
If you have any.
Or suggestions.
Or even just comments.
So basically right now, Gary's doing the pencils, and we thought we would just race through that pretty quickly because you can't hardly even see it. And now I guess you're starting to do the inks here? Or
no, this is still pencil. It's just I'm using a different pencil. It's a harder lead. It makes it stand out a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah, we move quickly on the pencils because it's difficult to see it on the screen.
You can't see it.
Now I have a brush and I'm going in with the ink.
Right. So basically, when it comes to your artwork, what is it that has been an influence for you? Who has been an influence for you? Like we were talking about that earlier today. Remember in the car?
Yeah.
We were talking about Frank Miller and different ones. Was there any other people that like influenced you to start drawing in the first place, or like did you always just want to draw and there was nobody?
Well, it depends on how far you go back.
Yeah.
But like when I was really little, it was like Disney animation and things like that, like Jungle Book and Peter Pan, and when I was really little.
Right.
But then I didn't maybe understand.
You thought
it was
one
drawings.
person. Did you guys say that you thought one person did all of everything?
Yeah, with comic books. I thought that there was one person that did all the comic books. Like they'd Casper, the Friendly Ghost, and Archie, and Superman, and Spider-Man, all of them.
Okay, so that was comic books,
yeah.
Not Disney. Oh, okay.
And so I thought, when I started getting older, I thought, man, I want to draw comic books.
Right.
And that guy's got to be getting old. And he's going to probably want to retire soon. And maybe I could take over his job.
True.
I didn't know that there was a whole world of people out there.
Of artists?
Yeah, that do... Yeah, that do comic book art. So...
You really liked, when I first met you, you really did like Frank Miller. Yeah,
Frank Miller.
You also liked the people who did ElfQuest.
That was Wendy Peeney.
Wendy Peeney.
Yeah, she's really good. The way that they merged the art and the story together. Like initially when I first saw ElfQuest and I saw Wendy Peeney's artwork, a friend of mine, John, he said, hey, look at this, what do you think? I just flipped through it, I didn't read it. And I was like, I don't like it, it's too cutesy or whatever. I didn't care for it. And he said, you should read it. And then when I did, I said, okay, fine, I'll read it. I read it, and it was like the way that it came together, like the way that they wrote it and the pictures that they did were so... it was like something magic happened.
It just drew you in?
Yeah, it was amazing. And then it was like, oh, now I understand what he's talking about. This is an amazing comic book.
Right.
It isn't just about the art. It's about both of them.
Right.
And Frank Miller did that too with like most of the stuff that he's done. like his Daredevil run and his Batman Dark Knight stuff. The way that he merges words and pictures together in a sequential way is amazing.
You also liked, was it X-Men?
Yeah, John Byrne.
I was trying to remember the name. I couldn't remember.
That's actually where I made more of a decision.
Okay.
To become a comic book artist, like was when I saw X-Men, John Byrne's X-Men, and that was just the greatest thing I've ever seen when I was a kid. I was like, this is what I want to do.
So you were inspired by him to actually...
Yeah, he was the guy that made me think, I want to do this.
That you could actually do it?
I don't know if I could do it, but I wanted to.
Right.
And then from there, I learned about that there's different artists. It isn't just John Byrne.
Right.
Well, I even learned his name, John Byrne. But I mostly have just been a visual person, like from a very young age. I don't usually read things, and I don't know if that's weird. It doesn't seem weird to me, but I know that
I read everything.
You read everything. Like we're driving down the road, and then you're reading that, and not that you don't read it out loud all the time, but like you'll say, "Oh yeah, I just saw that we're this far from that place." I'm like, "What place? How do you know that? Well, it was on the sign."
Right.
I'm like, do you read every sign that we go? You're all, yes.
Yes.
I read everything. The signs are there to read, and I'm like, well, they just look like shapes to me. Like there's a sign, it's a square, a rectangle.
Well, I remember when I think we were very first married. We had just gotten married, and I asked you if you had ever heard of C.S. Lewis before.
Yeah.
And you said no.
No, I haven't.
Like when I was a little girl, my dad read with me the Chronicles of Narnia, and when I was, the first time I read Chronicles of Narnia, I didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
I guess I was so young that I didn't understand that it was like this analogy that was going on there.
Oh.
And so then it took me a few more years, and then I read it again, and I loved it. And so then when I met you, you had never heard of him before.
We were driving
we drove
to go on vacation or something.
We went to Disneyland.
Yeah. And on the drive, you would read to me.
I read it.
Yeah, and you read the Chronicles of Narnia to me. And I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of it before. So yeah, I would say that C.S. Lewis, not for the visual part, but he's able to draw pictures with words. Yeah. And I would say is he's my favorite author. And it's probably because of you reading those books and stuff to me. And then I've gone on and I've read them for myself,
Right.
So
you liked the art, and I liked the stories.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Right.
So bringing that together, I think that's why with Pakkins Land and stuff like that, I think that it has a little bit of the elements of Chronicles of Narnia in it.
Right. For those of you who don't know what Pakkins Land is, it's a comic book series that I did like over 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've since collected it into an omnibus of 515 pages. And we have that available if anybody's interested. But it has a lot of influence from C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia. And his favorite, or my favorite of his work actually is the Space Trilogy.
Yeah.
That Hideous Strength. The third book in that series is amazing to me.
I read the first one, and then I couldn't read the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have trouble reading those, but I do.
Yeah. They're good. So if anybody wants to go check out the Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis, I recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So that is it. But you were telling me about when you were at a convention and they put you at a table.
Oh, yeah.
You should tell those stories because that's really cool.
I was trying to find the picture. I saw it online, someone had posted a picture of Frank Miller at San Diego Comic-Con back in the 80s. It must have been like 85 or something like that, maybe 86 or something, because it was after Dark Knight came out, and so it was a huge hit. And I had a table at the San Diego Comic-Con, but it wasn't the new one where it is now. I always think of that as the new place.
Right.
It was at the old place, so it wasn't as big.
I think I went there once or twice to the old one with you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, I was sitting at this table, and then all of a sudden, Frank Miller sits down right next to me. Anyway, someone had taken a picture of him, and it shows him at the table, and the artwork on the table, there's down at the bottom is my drawing.
Do you remember what drawing it was?
Yeah, it was a drawing I did of King Arthur from Camelot 3000.
Is it the one that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it was, and it was some years ago that someone had posted. I was like, no way, that's the day.
The day that you.
And I was sitting next to Frank Miller, and I hardly talked with him at all because it was like Frank Miller, and I was just a young guy.
Yeah.
He was a pretty young guy too.
Were you 18 or something like that?
I might have been. Yeah, I might have been about 18 or something.
Yeah. Was that the same day that you were telling me that Mike Mignola, what's his name?
No, that was years before.
Oh, okay. We
were in San Francisco at a creation con, and a friend of mine, Leo, we were in the artists section, I guess, I don't know, and there was an editor from Marvel. What was his name?
Tom DeFalco.
Tom DeFalco.
Right.
And we were talking to Leo, and I were talking to him. And
Leo is your friend.
Yeah, Leo's my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Leo Partible. And we were talking to Tom DeFalco to see if, we were just some young guys. I don't know. Maybe I was 17 or 16. I don't even know what I was. Just little kids. And we were like, we want to work at Marvel. And then he gave us business cards, and he's like, just keep in touch with me type thing. And then I left because I was like, he's not going to give me a job. And Leo kept talking to him, I guess. And then afterwards, Leo's, right after, maybe 5-10 minutes later, Leo comes up to me. He's like, Gary, those two guys just got jobs. I'm like, what? From Tom DeFalco at Marvel. I'm like, what two guys? And he pointed over. They're sitting right over there, and they were sitting next to each other. And it was Arthur Adams and Mike Mignola.
Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I went over to their table.
Okay.
And they hadn't worked for Marvel yet. They hadn't done.
So you knew them before they were.
Well, I didn't know them, but I met them.
You met them.
And so I looked through both of their portfolios and stuff, and I said, "So you guys got a job?" And they were like, "Yeah, we just got a job," and didn't know what it was, what the job would be.
Right.
Flipped through their work. I really liked Arthur Adams' artwork, and I was like, "This."
Arthur Adams, Art Nichols.
No, Arthur Adams.
Oh, it was Arthur Adams.
Did I say Art Nichols?
Yeah.
No, it's Arthur Adams.
I thought you did. It's
No.
Arthur Adams. Okay.
Anyways.
So Arthur Adams was the one that did. What did he do?
He did Long Shot.
Oh, Long
and,
Shot.
And he did some X-Men stuff. He hasn't done a whole lot, but he's really good.
Right.
He does a lot of just probably special edition stuff and covers and things like that. But he's really good.
Right.
But anyways, I fell in love with his artwork right then, and then later that year, we saw him at another convention, and Arthur Adams was there, and he was working on Long Shot pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, they were incredible.
Right.
The pencils that he did on Long Shot were so good
mm-hmm.
that the inker that they got to do it, he wrecked them.
Oh, really?
And I mean, everyone, if people are familiar with that miniseries, like a 6-issue miniseries, it's good. It's good, like the printed one and everything. And it's like a classic, But I'm telling you, his pencils were so much better. It was like the best comic book that you've ever seen in your life in pencil. And they should have got somebody else. They should have got like Terry Austin or somebody. Or just printed it in pencil because it was beautiful.
Right.
And then he showed this page, And then I was like, oh man, this is incredible, this page. And he said, oh, this is a rejected page. I'm like, it's rejected? Like Marvel didn't like it.
Okay.
And I remember it because it was so cool. It was a scene where Longshot had an iron, like you iron your clothes.
Okay.
And he was swinging it by the cord.
Yeah.
And then he threw it through somebody, and they were like something like they were from another dimension, so they could they were like ghosts or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But their bodies would open up.
Oh.
And the camera was looking through the body that had opened up for the iron, and the iron's coming right at you, and you could see Longshot through the hole and everything of the body. It was really good.
Wow.
And it had this depth to it. It was amazing. Anyways, all that. All that to tell you.
Yeah, I remember we met Dave. What is his name? Dave Stevens? No.
Yeah. Did you meet Dave Stevens?
I did.
Okay.
For Rocketeer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met. He was nice.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. So, I got to meet him, and I talked to Bill Sienkiewicz, but he wasn't as nice.
Yeah.
I have to say. He was a little more brisk.
Well, artists are each artist is different, their personalities.
Yeah.
And some of them are more outgoing and more personable, than others. But probably, like Bill Sienkiewicz, maybe he's really a great guy.
Right.
It's just that maybe he feels awkward or something at different times for whatever reason. I don't know.
That's right. So basically, this is Gary's life. We've lived this. I remember when I first met you and you had all those comic books.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let me touch them.
Some of them.
Some of them I could touch.
Right, because
Some
they
of
were.
them
I'd have doubles or even triples or quadruples.
These are the ones you can open.
They were reading copies and they were collecting copies.
Right.
And then I finally got rid of all of them and I didn't care anymore. So whatever, get rid of them.
So then basically, you got rid of all your comic books and you were done with comics for so long.
Yeah, like 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, I just quit.
Yeah. And so the whole thing with Pakkins Land was that you wanted to put something that would be more family friendly and
right. Well, I came up with
more of a
I got an idea, and I didn't know that I was ever going to go back and do comic books ever again.
Right.
But I got this idea, and I was like, man, I really want to do this. I guess the thought was, well, if you don't do it,
right,
then it'll always be hanging over you that you didn't do it.
Right.
And then I thought, well, if I do it and I fail, then at least I did it.
At least you tried.
At least I tried.
Well, that's what we were saying at the time. Is like at least try, and see where it could take us, because you never know. And we kind of talked about this last night a little bit about how you got started doing Pakkins Land and all of that. And I think that over all of the years that we've been together and like you've been doing artwork and stuff, there's been a lot of learning. It's been a lot of learning.
Yeah. Well, going away from comic books for 10 years, I didn't stop drawing.
Right.
I kept drawing, but I would do like maybe more like stuff like this, like this Jesus picture.
You've done a lot of superheroes.
Yeah.
Too. You've done.
You mean in the 10 years?
No, in all the time we've been together, you've done so many superheroes.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, pictures. Yeah.
Well, especially since I came back. Well, I guess when I quit, I kind of was still doing like pinups and stuff like that and selling them on eBay. So I didn't leave forever. Fully for 10 years.
Right.
But then when I came back, now I feel like I've come back. It's like it's come full circle, and now I'm doing like I'm a comic book artist again.
And it was kind of a little bit of an accident. It felt like a little bit of an accident. Not an accident, but it felt like it just kind of fell in your lap. And Pakkins Land started up again, And that was kind of cool, the way that it just started happening again.
Yeah.
And
yeah, well, I had a full-time job,
Yeah.
and then I'd come home and work on Pakkins Land. So it's like I had a job and a half or something. Because I didn't work 8 hours a day on Pakkins Land.
And your art room was our hallway.
Yeah, hallway.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
The way that we had it set up, it
Good
was very
times.
tight. It was interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like when you laid it down, you laid down Pakkins Land, and then it just kind of restarted again. And
Oh, you mean years after the
years
10-year,
later. Yeah.
like quitting for 10 years, then coming back, doing Pakkins Land, and then just laying that down. Like we did it for, like we did everything that we've done basically, like the 515 pages of it, roughly. There may be some new pages that I've done in there as well, but for the most part, it was just like we were done. And we had published through Caliber. Most of the stuff was published through Caliber, and then we published through Image.
Right.
And then after that, we self-published. Nothing new, though. Nothing new,
No.
Self-publishing. We just collected everything into graphic novels. And then now, recently, we've done the omnibus, or the hardcover omnibus.
Right.
And that's been like after we laid it down.
Right, yeah.
And now it's come back even stronger, I feel,
than
ever.
That was kind of a nice surprise for you, for both of us, actually.
Yeah, it was.
And actually it was because of YouTube.
Yeah.
I think. And how you got started on YouTube was kind of interesting, too, because you weren't even looking to start a YouTube channel.
Well, I had a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And we had it for a long time.
Oh.
But I never could get it to work because I didn't have the equipment to get it. And live streaming was not really a thing. It was like new.
Right.
And I couldn't, all I've ever wanted to do really is to just draw and have it recorded. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and then I wasn't trying to like do a show or anything. I just wanted to have my drawings recorded, and if anybody ever wanted to see them, if I wanted to see them, or if anybody wanted to, they could go and look at them.
Right.
But I never could do it, and I didn't have the setup, like to set up the camera. Like, you'd have to have an actual camera.
Right.
And we did try using like cameras, remember?
Yeah.
And they had video and stuff like that.
At the beginning, it was really bad.
Now you can just do it on your phone.
Right.
Which is amazing, and it just makes it so much easier. And now live stream is just a piece of cake, you know.
Yeah.
You can just do it. So yeah, but back then, all I ever wanted to do really was just record the process.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that you one morning you were on YouTube, and I guess people were asking you about Pakkins Land, and you were digging it all back out again, and it was all over the living room.
Right. Yeah.
And that was what I'm saying. That was the
beginning.
Nice surprise of
the beginning of the return.
Right. How is this actually reviving?
After all those years.
After so many years, we thought it was done and over.
And then also coupled with crowdfunding.
Right.
Because crowdfunding, at least I didn't know about it. So then I heard about it, and I heard that like people were doing crowdfunding, like comic book stuff, and people were like, "Yeah, we want it."
Right.
And I was like, "Wow, I wonder if anybody would want my stuff."
Right.
And so then we did it. It was a success. And then we went on from the Pakkins Land Omnibus to doing Titan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so now this is where we're at. And who knows where we'll go from here?
Yeah.
Who knows what will happen next? But this has been an interesting life, I have to say. And sometimes, like doing eBay, and when you were doing eBay and stuff, it was, month to month. We didn't know
right.
what we were going to...
Well, now there's a new eBay in town called Whatnot.
Well, Whatnot.
Whatnot's is amazing.
Is it? Is it better than eBay?
Oh, yeah. It's so much better.
Okay.
It's like doing the live auction. So if any of you are interested, I have a Whatnot. We'll put the link somewhere. I don't know.
In the description. below.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
And you can come. I go over there most days and I draw.
Right.
So people could come over there and
But
check it out.
when we first moved here to Illinois, you were doing eBay.
Right.
And yeah, that was 1 month we might do really, really well. And the next month, you know, and so it was like each month we would, or each time, like each week even sometimes.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
It was like,
is this going to be a good week or a bad week? We don't know.
Is this going to be a good day? Are we going to make anything today?
Right.
Yeah, so.
So this is so much better. Yeah, so I have to say that is true. Whatnot has been working much better for you.
So yeah, I really would have to say thank you to all of you guys, because I know it sounds cliche.
It's been very encouraging to you.
Yeah, it's very encouraging.
We said this last night, but it has been.
Can't say it enough, I guess.
Right.
But without you guys, there's nothing. You
know?
And so I do appreciate everybody.
True.
And maybe this can be an encouragement to those of you out there that you have something that you're wanting to do. You know, you have a dream, or you're wanting to be an artist or comic book artist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be art. It could be music. Anything that you're wanting to pursue. There are ups and downs in life.
Right. And
you can think that something's over, and then 10 years later, 25 years later,
it
comes back up again.
That is true.
And
you never know. A door could close for a little while and then reopen again later. So that has been amazing. So if you guys want to check out Gary, like he said a little bit earlier, on Whatnot, we'll put the link. Yeah. We'll put the link down below. So check that out.
Yeah. So my name on most things is Gary Shipman Art.
Yeah.
So I'm Gary Shipman Art on Whatnot, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, Instagram,
right.
Facebook, my YouTube channel is Gary Shipman Art. What else? Oh, also my website is GaryShipmanArt.com.
Okay.
So that's convenient.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope that you are enjoying these voiceovers. We're having fun making them. Are we having fun, Gary?
We are having fun.
We are having fun.
But also, please leave a comment down below.
Yes.
That helps us to know that you guys like it.
Like the video.
Liking, also sharing.
Yes.
I've lost my YouTube channel several times.
Well, now you're building it back up again.
You know, we're coming back, trying to do it again. And you guys can help. You guys always do help. I do appreciate that.
Right.
But anyways, thank you so much.
All right.
And we'll see you next time. All right. Peace.
Peace.